Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavindra ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Prem se Gaur Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivas Adi Gaur Bhaktivinoda jai, Sri Radha Krishna Gaur Gopinath Sam Kund Radha Kund Giridhardhan ki jai, Vrndavan Dham ki jai, Navadvip Dham ki jai, Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Ganga Mai ki jai, Jamuna Mai ki jai, Tulasi Devi ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai. All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. This morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class will be on Canto 1, Chapter 2, verse 13, recorded on the 24th of October, 1972 in Vrndavan. So it's Canto 1, Chapter 2, verse 13, recorded 24th of October, 1972 in Vrndavan. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ata Pungvi Vijwa Krishna Varnashrama Vibhagasa Sanushtitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhi Haritoshanam Atapung Vidya Sreshta Varnashrama Vibhagasa Sanushtitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam Atapung Vidya Sreshta Varnashrama Vibhagasa Sanushtitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam Atapung Vidya Sreshta Varnashrama Vibhagasa Sanushtitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhi Haritoshanam. Ataha so Pungvi by the human being Sreshta of the twice born Varnashrama forecast and orders of life Vibhagasa Sanushtitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhi highest perfection.
The personality of Godhead. Toshanam
Please.
Translation. All best among the twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging his prescribed duties for Dharma according to caste divisions and orders of life is to please the Lord. Hari.
Atapungvi dija srestha varnasrama vibhagas. Varna and ashram. This varnashram is very important thing in the human society. unless one accepts these principles of Varna and Ashram, they are animal society. That is not human society. 4 Varnas, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, 4 divisions of the society, and Ashrama, spiritual order, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. This is Vedic culture, Varnashrama. Any society which is devoid of this Vedic culture, Varna and Ashram, that is not accepted as human society. In the Vishnu Puran also, it is said, Varnashramacharvata purushena parapuman Vishnu aradhate nanya tattva karanam. The whole aim of life is to achieve the favor of Vishnu. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam. That is the Rig Ved mantra. To reach Vishnu. But they do not know the goal of life. Nate vidu sarthagating hi Vishnu. They do not know. Anyone or any society who does not know the aim of life, they are in the darkness. Actually, at the present moment especially, the whole human society has missed the point. They are trying to be happy by material adjustment, by social adjustment, by political adjustment, by economic development, or by religious adjustment. They are trying to make the whole human society happy, but Bhagavad says, Durasaya je bahirarthamanina. This is something which is beyond the fulfillment of hopes. This hope will never be fulfilled. Durasaya. Bahirarthamanina. Because they have accepted the external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bahirartha. Just like this body, your body, my body, this is Bahirartha, external. Just like this wrapper. This is external. Real person is not this wrapper or this body. The real person is the soul. But they have no information of the soul, neither information of Vishnu, the origin of soul. They are interested with the external body. That is called Bahirartha. Bahi means external. Artha means interest. Just like you have seen in our Bhagavad, the picture, the one lady is taking care of the cage and the bird within is dying. So Bahirarthamani means this, that we are taking care of the body, external body, but not taking care of the soul within. This is the civilization of cows and asses. Saeva go khara. Go means cows and khara means asses. Therefore, here it is said, Atah Pungvi Dijasrestha. Dijasrestha. In that meeting of Naimisaranya, there were all best Brahmins. Dija means twice born. Twice born, the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas, they are supposed to be twice born. One birth by the father and mother, and the other birth is by the Guru and Vedic knowledge. The Guru is the father and Vedic knowledge is the mother. This is in Aryan civilization, this Varnashrama, Varna, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Shudra are once born. They had no ceremony for twice born. Or one who is not twice born, he is a Shudra. If the twice born ceremony is not observed, then it is Shudra. Practically, at the present moment, even in India, these ceremonies are not accepted or they do not care for it. And what to speak of other countries? Therefore, the conclusion of the Shastra is Kalo Shudra Sambhava. In this age of Kali, there are only Shudras. Practically, there is no Brahmana, no Kshatriya, no Vaishyas. Maybe some Vaishyas, but this is the position. But here it is said, Varnashrama Vibhagasa. Unless the society comes to the institution for accepting these four varnas and ashrama, it is not human society. And in the human society, there is understanding of God, not in the animal society. Therefore, as the institution of Varnashrama is now abolished, people are becoming godless. Because Varnashrama means the institution or a setup of society where gradually one can understand Vishnu and worship Vishnu. Vishnu aradhate. That is the system. Not that so-called Brahmin and so-called Kshatriya, they have no information of Vishnu and they are declaring, I am Brahmin, I am Kshatriya. They are called according to Shastra, Brahma Bandhu, Dijabandhu. Dijabandhu. One who is born of a Brahmin family or a Kshatriya family or Vaishya family, but do not act as Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishya, they are called Dijabandhu. They are not accepted as Dija. Stri Shudra Dijabandhu Nang Trayina Shruti Gochara. This Mahabharata was compiled by Vyasdev for this purpose, because three women, Shudra, the fourth class of the society, liberal class, worker class, Sri Shudra and Dijabandhu, and persons who are born in the families of Brahmana, Kshatriya, but they do not act, they are called Dijabandhu. For them, this Mahabharata was compiled. It is called fifth Vedas. Four Vedas, Sam, Yaju, Atharva. Sam, Yaju, Rik, Atharva. So this Vedic language cannot be understood by the less intelligent class of men who are known as Oman, Shudra and Dijabandhu. Sri Shudra, Dijabandhuna. In the Bhagavad Gita also it is said, Mang hi partha vapasritya jepishu papajonaya striya Shudra tatha vaishya stepi janti parangati. So, when one becomes Krishna conscious, it does not matter whether he is a Stri or a Shudra or a Dijabandhu, Ste Pijanti Parangati. They also can be elevated to the highest platform of perfection. So that is Krishna's special favor. Ordinarily, this is the formula. This formula. What is that? Dijasreshta, atapung bhi dijasreshta. This is the ordinary formula. Atapung bhi dijasreshta, Varnashrama vibhagas. It is based on the Varnashram division. Sanushthitasya dharmasya samsiddhi haritos. Everyone must have perfection. But people are not interested what is the perfection of life. Neither they know what is the position of perfection. The perfection is haritosanam, to satisfy the Supreme Personality of God. It doesn't matter what you are. If you are Brahman, by your activities, sattva, sama, dhamma, titikha, by your austerity, knowledge, you satisfy Krishna, Vishnu, the Supreme Krishna and Vishnu the same. Vishnu Tattva. Krishna is the origin of Vishnu Tattva. Aham sarvasya prabhava, Krishna says. He is the origin of Vishnu also, sarvasya. Because in the creation, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesha, the origin of original demigods of this creation. Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is the maintainer, and Maheshwar or Mahadev or Lord Shiva is destroyer. There are three deities in charge of three departmental activities. So Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhava. That means he is the origin of Brahma, he is the origin of Vishnu, he is the origin of Lord Shiva. Aham sarvasya matta sarvam pravartana. So, therefore here it is said, haritosanam. If we satisfy Hari, the Supreme Personality of God, he includes everything. Sarvasya prabhu. You do not require to satisfy separately other demigods. There is no need. The example is given, Jatha tarormula nisechanena tripanti tatkanda bhujopasakha. Just like pouring water in the root of the tree, automatically you water the branches, the twigs, the leaves, the flowers and everything. This is the way. Pranopaharacha jathendriyana. You supply foods to the stomach and automatically the energy will be distributed to other parts of the body. You do not require to supply food to the eyes, to the ear, to the nose. No. Simply supply food to the stomach and the energy will be distributed. Similarly, Sangasiddhi Haritosanam. If you simply satisfy Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then you satisfy all others. Tasmin tuste jagat tushta. Just like you know the story in Mahabharata that Duryodhana planned, once Duryodhana satisfied Durvasa Muni very nicely, and Durvasa Muni wanted to give him some benediction. Now you take some benediction, whatever you like. So Duryodhana was very cunning. His only aim was how to cheat the Pandavas. So he said, my dear sir, I shall ask you someday, not now. So all right. So when the Pandavas were in the forest and Durvasa's plan was how to tease them. So he approached Durvasa Muni, my dear sir, you wanted to give me some benediction, I have come for it. Yes? Now you go to the Pandavas with your all disciples, 60,000 disciples, and you go when Draupadi has taken her food. So Durvasa Muni one day, because he wanted to give that benediction, he approached the Pandavas in the forest, and it is the duty of the Kshatriya to receive the Brahmanas. So they have finished their lunch, and Durvasa Muni came. So how they can deny? They are Kshatriyas. Yes, my lord, you can. You are welcome. Just take your bath, and we are making arrangement. What arrangement they will make? In the forest. So they are perplexed. So Krishna, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Krishna's vow is that he will see always his devotees are protected. So when they are perplexed, Krishna came. Krishna came, then what is the problem? They explained, this is the problem. Then asked Draupadi that you have already finished, because Draupadi had a benediction that so long she does not take his lunch, any number of men come, she will be able to feed. That was it. But she had finished her lunch. Then Krishna said, just go find out some food stuff, any little in the kitchen. They said, no, everything is finished. There is no food. No, just try to see. Then in one pot they saw a little sack, a vegetable was stuck up. So they brought it and Krishna took it immediately. So as soon as Krishna took, all the Durvasa Muni and company, they felt that their belly is filled up. Tasmin tuste jagantusta. So they are feeling ashamed that how we shall go, we cannot take any food. So they fled away from the Ganges. So the process is this, actually. If you can satisfy Krishna, if Krishna says, all right, then everything is all right. Bas. This is Krishna consciousness movement. Somehow or other, you satisfy Krishna, Sangsiddhi Haritosanam, then you have all perfection. Very simple method. You try to satisfy Krishna, and your everything satisfied, everything is perfect. Krishna also says that. It is not very difficult to satisfy Krishna. Krishna is so kind. He says, Patram puspam phalam toyam jomi bhaktya prajachyati. Krishna says, you want to feed me, that's all right. You collect little flower, patram, a little leaf, whatever you, not that all, any one of them, patram, puspam, phalam, toyam, a little water, jome bhakta prajachyati. Real thing is bhakti, love, devotion. Not that Krishna is asking you, bring volumes of luchi, puri, kachori, halwa, no. Krishna wants your love, real thing, bhaktya, jomi, bhaktya prajachyati. Krishna is not beggar, neither Krishna is hungry that he has come to your place to eat something. That's not the position, Krishna's. Krishna wants only your love. Just like father takes the responsibility of the whole family. He works hard day and night to maintain the family. He expects only love from his wife and children. That is the impetus of economic development. Otherwise he is earning daily thousands and lakhs of rupees. It is not that he will eat. He'll eat that 4 chapatis, that's all. What, 6 annas? But he works so hard just to be satisfied that his wife, his children love. When he comes at home, he sees them very satisfied. Similarly, Krishna has expanded this family. Eka Bahushyama. He has become so many living entities. What is the idea? Anandamaya Abhyasat. Because he is Anandamaya, he wants to enjoy the love exchange between the living entities. That is his purpose. Otherwise, why he has created? He wants love. But these rascals, they have forgotten that thing. They are saying there is no God. I am God. I am enjoying. Instead of loving God, they are becoming God. This has killed the whole situation. Therefore, Krishna comes and he wanted to re-establish that reciprocal exchange of love, which is called bhakti. You love Krishna, and Krishna loves you. Krishna loves you even without your love. Otherwise, how you are eating? You cannot live even for a moment without Krishna's mercy. That's a fact. Eka bahunam vidadati kaman. So, Krishna comes. Krishna, when he says, Dharma sanghasthapanarthaya, samvamami juge juge, this is real dharma. Dharma means, dharmantu sakshat bhagavat pranita. Dharma means what is enjoined by this Lord, God. What God says, that is dharma. God says, do this. That is dharma. Not that you manufacture your dharma. God says, Krishna says, manmana bhavamad bhakta madhyaji mang namaskuru sarva dharman paritajya mamekang sarang. This is dharma. Anything beyond this, all nonsense. They are not dharmas. Dharma koitava, cheating, simply cheating. Therefore Bhagavad says, dharma purojjita atra koitava. All rascaldom dharma is thrown away, kicked out. This is dharma. Dharmantu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. This is dharma. Therefore, here it is, same thing is confirmed. Sanusthitasya dharmasya sangsiddhi harito sanam. You are religious, that's all right. But the purpose of religion is to satisfy the Supreme Lord. That is perfection. It doesn't matter because it is said, Varnashrama vibhagasa. A Brahmana Varna, he can satisfy Krishna by his tapasya, by his truthfulness, by his knowledge of the Shastras. He can preach the knowledge of the Shastra to the world. He can eat on behalf of God. Therefore, according to Vedic civilization, there is Brahman Bhojan. Brahman Bhojan means whatever a Brahmana eats, it means God eats, Krishna eats through the Brahman. Therefore, Brahman, in Vedic civilization, there is no Daridra Bhojan. There is no such word. Now they have manufactured refugee Bhojan, Daridra Bhojan. But the real is Brahman Vaishnava Bhojan. Because through the mouth of the Brahmana and Vaishnavas, those were real Brahmans. So this is the Sangsiddhi Haritosanam. You may remain a Brahmin, that's all right. Just like Arjuna. Arjuna was a Kshatriya. He was not a Brahmin. He was Kshatriya. He was not a sannyasi, he was a grihastha, king. His business, he knew how to kill. So by killing, he satisfied Krishna. Samsiddhi haritosana. This is the whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita. He was unwilling to kill, and Krishna was inducing him. He must kill. And when he agreed to kill, then Krishna became satisfied. He became perfect. These are the evidence. The purpose is to satisfy Krishna. When he was denying to fight, that was his own satisfaction. I shall not kill my grandfather, my nephews, my brother on the other side. If they die, I shall be unhappy. So what is the use of killing them? These are all sense gratification, so-called non-violence. A devotee does not know what is violence or non-violence. He wants to satisfy Krishna. That's all. They do not know what is morality or immorality. They want to satisfy Krishna. Just like the gopis. At dead of night, they went to Krishna. That is immorality. But they did not know what is morality or immorality. They must go to Krishna. Samsiddhi haritosanam. So, anyone, in whatever position he may be, it does not matter. Everyone should try to satisfy Krishna. Madhyaji mang namaskuru. Manmana mad bhakta. Madhyaji mang namaskuru. This is perfection of life. Always think of Krishna. Manmana. Always become my devotee. Mad bhakta. Always worship me. Madhyaji. Always offer your obeisances unto me. Mang namaskuru. But I have got other religions, sir. Why shall I think of you only? I have to think of Goddess Kali. Otherwise I cannot eat meat. Therefore Krishna says, Sarva dharma anupardhi. This is all nonsense. Give up all this nonsense. Sarva dharma anuparittaja mam ekam. Simply unto me. Ekam. Don't bother with other demigods. They are my servants. You are not to satisfy my servants. Of course, those are real servants, that is different. So this is the real dharma, samsiddhi haritosana. If you somewhere or other can satisfy Krishna, just like Arjuna, by killing, he said killing art is not very good art. But because by killing he satisfied Krishna, Krishna gave him certificate, Bhaktosi Priyosi me. Oh, you are my very dear friend. Because Krishna's purpose was to kill the demons. Paritranam sadhunam vinasaya duskitam. So Arjuna helped to kill the demons and fulfill the desire of Krishna. And therefore he became perfect by killing. So, if you do anything which is sanctioned by Krishna or by his bona fide representative, that is real dharma. Samsiddhi haritosana. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Amagantimuranjasya Jananjala Shalakaya Shaksham Umilitanena Tashmai Sri Gurudev Namaha. Okay, well, welcome to this morning's session, Prabhupada's lecture. I just want to go over some of the things Prabhupada mentioned in here. I was just called upon to say something just a moment ago. So actually, technically speaking, someone else was supposed to be sitting here. But I'll try to make the most of it, try and see how much I can remember of Prabhupada's, what he thinks, the passage of scripture he narrated or expanded on. So your input will be very much appreciated. So Prabhupada talked about real Dharma at the very end of the lecture, and I don't know if you remember, what did he say about that? What did he say? What is real Dharma? That was the very end of the lecture. The real Dharma. Sanatana Dharma. Eternal. And to be more specific, maybe? Oh, can you give him the mic, please?
Prabhupada quoted that give override your religion, surrender to me. And Prabhupada went further to say, someone may say, I have to worship God as Kali, and how can I meet? But Prabhupada said, no, you give up all this religion, and Krishna saying, surrender to me.
Yeah. So real Dharma then is pleasing Vishnu, pleasing Krishna. So, and probably I would summarize the whole class in one sentence, and that is, whatever you do, do it to please Krishna. Because that was the thrust throughout the entire class. Prabhupada was making that point time and time again. He started off with the concept of, or the institution of Varnashrama system. So he started off with the class with the institution of Varnashrama system. And what did he say about it? Can you recall? What did he say in the very beginning? Varnashrama system. Why is it so important in human society? Because if you don't have it, the absence of Varnashrama system, we have animal living. Yes, we live like animals. And so the purpose of, and he goes on to talk about we're making all kinds of adjustments to be economically and educationally and so many things. But he says unless one is, and he goes back to the very end of the class, he says, well, and Srinivas Prabhu touched upon this, he says, you can try all these things, various things, but he says quite robustly, he says, Krishna says, give up all these things, surrender to me, and the statement he used, the word is nonsense, give up this nonsense, and surrender unto me. And so then, Prabhupada goes on to talk about, just bear with me a moment, let me see if I can refer to some things here. He talks about even the twice born. And what is your understanding of the twice born, according to the scriptures and Prabhupada's comments? Yeah, Srinivas Prabhu.
I read Prabhupada on the calendar, he was explaining the spiritual master is your father and the Gayatri mantra is your mother. So, according to Mahabharata, he explains that if you do Gayatri mantra at the proper timings, then inauspicious things cannot affect you. You get spiritual nourishment.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's exactly what Prabhupada said. Well, not in so many words, but he says the spiritual master, the guru, is your father, and Vedic injunctions, Vedic knowledge is the mother. So correct, twice born. He goes on to talk about that so many so-called brahmanas taking birth in Brahmana's family, and they're not living up to it, and whether to that reputation, and whether someone is a Sudra, a woman, and other classes. He said, well, Brahmanas who are not following the system, which he called Vishna Bandhu, I believe is the term he used. Those who are not following, who claim to be born in Brahmana's family, but they're not strictly following the rules or the life of a Brahmana. So, right. So, okay, let's move on a little bit here now. So. Okay, so Prabhupada talks very much a lot about satisfying Vishnu, and he gave two examples of when you please Vishnu or Krishna, and how we can in turn satisfy his devotees or serve them in specific ways. And he mentioned an event, a pastime with Draupadi. David, you have a comment to make on that one?
Yes, he mentioned the pastime of Durvasa Muni, when Duryodhan he sent Durvasa Muni towards the Pandavas to try and get them into trouble. Yeah. And they had no food left, they had just finished their lunch.
Yes.
Draupadi had already taken from her plate, so she couldn't feed the rest of the, there's no more, she couldn't feed unlimited numbers. And then they found a tiny bit of prasadam left in one of the pots, and then they gave this to Krishna, and he was very much pleased. And then immediately all the brahmanas with Durvasa Muni, all his disciples, felt full, and the whole situation was pacified.
Yeah, nice. Accurately recounted, David Prabhu. So Prabhupada goes on to say that if one satisfies Vishnu, then automatically everything else is taken care of. And he cited two examples of how that is the case. I don't know if you can recall. So he talks about one was the watering the plant, and the other one was the gopis. No, one was the stomach. Yes, the stomach. And taking food directly into the stomach, then every part of you is nourished and satisfied. Same as is the case with the root of a tree. So, and then he goes on a little bit more into the activities of Krishna. Well, specifically mentioned the reciprocation, love reciprocation between the living entities and Krishna. And again, Prabhupada is saying, well, everything rests in Krishna, and he's the supreme enjoyer. And to back that up, he mentioned the fact that Krishna expands himself into innumerable living entities. And what's the reason for this? I mean, I've heard this before, but it's nice to hear it again from Prabhupada. He said it this morning. So he expands himself into many living entities, many forms in creation, innumerable, for one reason. And I mentioned it earlier. Yes. Sorry, I'm pulling trying to drag your memory this morning, see how much.
But Krishna does that to increase his pleasure.
Yes.
Because it's mentioned in Gopal Champu, his pastime with the Brahma Mohana Leela. That when Brahma stole the cow and cowherd boys, when Krishna expanded in the exact forms, it's mentioned there that Krishna wasn't that happy as when he was with his devotee cowherd boys and friends. He wasn't there as happy when he was with his personal expansions. So he gets more pleasure being with devotees.
Yes. Yeah, but specifically, you have devotees, but it seems like everyone is a devotee.
Yes, so in the Bhagavatam, in the 3rd canto, it's mentioned, Prabhupada comments in the purport, occasionally when the creation happens, the reason why Krishna makes the material world happen again, because he's feeling the compassion for the fallen souls. And Prabhupada gives an example like a husband is missing the wife or something like that. So Krishna is feeling compassion for the living entities who are suffering. He wants them to come back to him.
Yeah, nice point. But Krishna, Prabhupada mentioned specifically that Krishna expands himself into various innumerable entities so that he can have love in exchange. Love in exchange. And how, Hare Krishna, and how is that love in exchange? How does that take place? It must be in satisfying him. So again, the whole, the context of the content of the whole class, it comes back to this one thing, satisfying Vishnu. And it runs throughout the entire class, Prabhupada, really putting that point forward. To the point where I think I got this. For me, it's a realization. Okay, this is this summum bonum. This is the sum total of everything that we do, and all that we are. Is to do that one thing, and so. Okay, so again, it talk about how do you to please Krishna, how do you serve him? What is love in exchange? Love in exchange is also obeying, right? So even though the circumstances may deem impossible or unfavorable, or but simply because Krishna sanctioned it, and Krishna says so, then we do it, we follow. And the example Prabhupada gave was Arjuna, unwillingness to kill. But he mentions that Krishna's mission was to annihilate the demons. So what's his argument about not killing? Because you're not pleasing Krishna then. Because so, you see, it's quite interesting. Arjuna had you would say, the reasonable grounds not to do all that commit that atrocity against families, friends, and teachers, but he had a very good argument, but it was defeated because he was opposing Krishna's desire. So even though it may seem impossible, he said, do it because I sanctioned it. Because you sanction it, you please him. And then if you please him, then he's happy, and then we're happy. So I don't know if anyone want to share any reflections to share on this point, on these points. Another interesting point, just before I come to that, before I close, another interesting point Prabhupada made was the importance of the Brahmanas in society, and that so Krishna eats through the mouth of a Brahmana, and then again he said, without the Brahmanas giving instructions to society, then it's a lost case, hopeless. And at the moment, the Varnashrama system is not strong. It's not evident. It's not there. So therefore, animalistic society, or animals we are, And we've heard this many times. Prabhupada repeats these statements so many times. So I think that's all I have to say. And anyone wants to share?
The twice born.
Yes.
Once you get a spiritual master, then you're twice born.
Yeah.
Is that right? Because I was reading a lecture by Srila Prabhupada, Los Angeles, December 1968. It says twice born means when we become Duja twice born means you come to the point of understanding Krishna consciousness. Could you expand on that? Because you were talking about how once
so
because I could go on. I could expand on what he said. Yeah. So twice born means you come to the point of understanding Krishna consciousness.
Yes.
When you take your birth from your parents, your consciousness is different. Just like the child, his consciousness is different.
Yeah.
But when he's grown up, if he takes to knowledge, if he tries to understand Krishna, his consciousness is different. So when one takes to Krishna's consciousness,
yes,
that is the beginning of his second birth.
yes.
Vivija.
So that's because of the. So Krishna's mercy is the thing through the revealing his heart and his love through the scriptures, and also under the direction of the guru. So there are two things there. So it's all to do with his mercy. Now without his mercy, then how can we understand? Prabhupada mentioned in here further, he said we can't even live without the mercy of Krishna. But his mercy is there. I suppose when we twice born, we step up to the table and Krishna says, okay, I'll give it to you. And then we understand. Through mercy. You have a comment? Okay.
I heard a lecture by Gopal Prabhu, and he gave an example. He said there was one devotee, he was a Prabhupada disciple, and he took second initiation, and within the temple he wasn't been feeling comfortable doing the Gayatri mantra because there was too much loud japa going on. So he found a secluded place somewhere at a distance, and then he saw Srila Prabhupada come there. But then he still started doing his Gayatri, and Prabhupada stood right next to him. But he didn't acknowledge Prabhupada. Then Prabhupada told the other devotees, what's the use of doing Gayatri mantra when your Guru is right in front of you? So the understanding is, to be Krishna conscious, you follow the instructions of the spiritual master. No, second, see, Prabhupada gives a whole thing about the second initiation. Vaishnavas are beyond second initiation. But there are many caste brahmanas who don't respect, they think unless you take birth in a brahmana family, you have to take birth as a brahmana. That's the understanding, you have to take birth as a brahmana. Only then you can become a brahmana. But according to Prabhupada and Bhaktivedanta Thakur, their understanding is, Narada Muni is saying that you can become a brahmana by Panchachikra Vidhi. So the second initiation is introduced the line of deity worship, and also to save these people from going to hell. Because if they criticize Vaishnavas, their spiritual life is finished. But from a technical point of view, everything is there in the Maha Mantra.
I don't know if any of that help.
I'm giving you the deep understanding of it.
Right, time is moving on. So, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.